Are you ready to think big and act bold? Then you are in the right place. This is Innovative Entrepreneurs, a podcast that will bring you the stories, insights, and tips from some of the most successful and innovative entrepreneurs in the world. I am your host, Erica Bailey, and I am here to help you start, scale, and sustain your own entrepreneurial journey. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Innovative Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Erica Bailey, and as always, I'm grateful that you choose to join and listen to me. I hope you get value. We have done quite a few branding packs. Alongside with my husband and best friend and better half, we own a marketing agency. Been in business for about 15 years. One of our very first clients was a pharmaceutical company who was trying to rebrand and ultimately sell. And we've recently been doing some exciting stuff with product development. I'll go there for now. I can't wait to share later. And authors, and we're actually going to do one for a gentleman who's going to be an influencer. It's going to be super fun. Anyway, I thought that I would talk with you about branding and differentiation. So what makes your brand different? And the fundamental roles this has in business success. You know, branding isn't just about a logo and color schemes. It's an entire identity of a company and how it's perceived by the world. It is a competitive market, and differentiation is not just beneficial, it's really essential. It's without this, a brand can be indistinguishable from competitors. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. This leads, to the lack of, customer loyalty and difficulty attracting new customers. That brand has to be different. It has to stand out. It has to tell your story. Defining differentiation, it's a process of distinguishing a brand from its competitors through its unique selling proposition. You'll hear me say USP all the time. That makes it stand out in the marketplace. This could be through product features, pricing strategies, customer experience, or brand values, right? So I'm going to give you some examples of some consequences that other brands have had because they did not differentiate themselves and how that impacted ultimately the growth of their business. So who remembers BlackBerry smartphones, right? They were all the rave. They were all the rave. Like every business owner or every business person owned a BlackBerry. And it was really the pioneer of the smartphone industry. It was really well known for its secure email and the physical keyboards. Then, as the smartphone market evolved, BlackBerry struggled at that point to differentiate its offerings from newer smartphones that focused on broader functionalities, like apps and multimedia and touch screens. So because they failed to innovate or differentiate but beyond its initial business-oriented features, this led to significant loss in the market share to Apple's iPhone and Android devices. These offered more of a diverse ecosystem and friendly interfaces, and the lack of differentiation not only reduced BlackBerry's consumer base, but eventually relegated BlackBerry to just a very niche market. And the reality is, who sees BlackBerry anymore? What about Blockbuster? Blockbuster and Netflix. So Blockbuster was an actual brick and mortar building. It was the dominant movie rental service. But then it had they were faced with new competition from Netflix, right? That offered DVD mailing services. And there's also the boxes that I can't remember the name of it, right? Redbox, right? Redbox would distribute the DVDs right there. You don't even have to wait in line. It was simple, right? Well, again, Blockbuster's lack of innovation and understanding their brand and what they need to do to maintain that brand, but keep up with the innovation ultimately led to Blockbuster's downfall. But Netflix, on the other hand, they continuously evolved, right? They were differentiating themselves with this robust streaming platform, original content, and a subscription model. And this really changed how people consume media. And now we look, and all of the streaming platforms are following suit from what Netflix created. They understood their brand, understood how to differentiate it, and then take it to market. And it succeeded. Sears. Okay. These are, I wonder if anybody else remembers these. I went to Sears the time, all the time with my dad, because that's where he would get his tools, right? Sears was once a retail giant, right? It was known for its catalog, sales, department stores. As e-commerce, though, began to dominate retail, Sears failed to differentiate its brand and adapt, right? It had to adapt to this new digital landscape effectively as e-commerce began to dominate retail, right? Sears would not differentiate its brand and adapt to the new digital landscape effectively, right? Its offerings became indistinct from newer, more agile competitors like Amazon, for example. So without a clear differentiation strategy that capitalized on either unique in-store experiences or competitive online offerings, Sears saw this huge decline in customer visits. This led to a series of serious financial struggles, and stores closed everywhere. This really highlights the perils of failing to adapt and differentiate in a rapidly growing market, ever changing market and environment. Kodak, who remembers taking their camera rolls in to get developed, right? So Kodak was this leader in photographic film products, right? They invented the first digital camera, but hesitated to market it aggressively, fearing that it would literally cannibalize the film business. That was it. Again, this failure to differentiate in this digital realm, it allowed competitors like Canon and Nikon to really capitalize on that photography boom. And, Kodak delayed their response to market trends and again led to the loss of relevancy. And I believe they actually eventually filed bankruptcy. So those are examples of what not to do. But let me give you some examples of who really knocked it out of the park. Patagonia, who knows what that is? It has this foundation and mission focus on environmental sustainability. Patagonia's commitment to sustainability became their differentiator. It was embedded in all aspects of its operations, from the supply chain to the final product. The impact of this strategy on consumer perception and loyalty has allowed Patagonia to command premium prices. They maintain this really strong market presence, despite the fact that they had numerous competitors. So they understood that their differentiator was how they wanted their brand to be represented. And it worked. Who remembers the amazing commercial that Dollar Shave Club launched? Dollar Shave Club entered this market that is dominated by big brands like Gillette by offering that direct to consumer subscription based model, cuts out the middleman, right? They're, I guess I would call it cheeky and relatable. Oh, if you haven't seen their initial commercial, you have to. It's hilarious. It's so hilarious. Um, so these marketing campaigns, they really had a focus on convenience and cost, which differentiated themselves from traditional big brands. It's kind of like the Netflix thing, right? They went from having to go inside to rent the movie or to buy the razors. They came up with this direct store offerings, and their prices were insanely low. And they have developed loyal brand ambassadors. So when they launched new products, they already had this following that trusted their brand, that enjoyed their brand. So that was another really good one. And at our company, CWG Digital, we are working with an author right now whose book did not represent her message and her meaning. And so we're working on a complete rebrand of that. And the message is so powerful. I cannot wait to share all of the stats on that one. But another, successful one that we did was we took that pharmaceutical company, right? We rebranded them and they sold for quite a bit of money. I don't remember the exact numbers, but quite a bit of money. And that was exactly their goal, right? Worked for a childhood cancer foundation. And although they had their brand, their logo, and what they were about, we had to build up that differentiation. What made them different than any other childhood cancer foundation? Alex's Lemonade Stand is a perfect example of that, right? Their differentiator was that they created this model where people could do lemonade stands to raise money for the foundation. And as it grew, they were able to provide more support to back these people. But if you look up their statistics, the amount of money they make from their loyal followers who are doing something different than just asking for money has made a tremendous impact. Oh, I'm glad I thought about that one. Do you have any ideas or any thoughts on other businesses that have either failed completely or knocked it out of the park? If so, I'd like to hear. Share them with me below, wherever that below is. So, listen, differentiation in your brand, in your business model, um, it's critical on how it roots this genuine, unique aspect of your brand. Um, I would actually suggest that you do your own audit. I challenge you to do your own audit. Come up with that strategy. Ask yourself, are your unique qualities clear to your audience? And if not, consider how you can better communicate these differences. Anyway, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them below. Feel free to reach out to me on social media. Happy to explain this more. Would love to talk. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something. I'm grateful to all my guests. I'm grateful to all of those who've been downloading my podcast. I started this thing without having any idea that what I had to say mattered and would impact others. I had no idea the caliber of guests that I would be able to bring on. Oh, look at me. I got tears in my eyes. Um, so thank you. Thank you for helping me get this message out. And of course, like, share, subscribe, comment. It really does help. It really does. Anyway, thank you so much. Hope you have a beautiful day.
Wow, what a great episode. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you want more of this goodness, make sure you subscribe so that you get notifications for future podcasts. And if you found value from this, please share it with others. You can visit our website at CWGdigital.com. This is Erica Bailey. I am your host, and I will see you next time.